Well, in 2023, a screenwriter and documentarian set out to chronicle the 57-year history of the A's. And at that time, there was still some hope that the team would stay here in Oakland.
But as we all know, that hope would fade. And in his film that is out now, Matt Dooley captured the team's eventual departure through the eyes of its loyal fan base. Have a look.
Fans have always considered ourselves to be like baseball's bastard children, the unwanted stepchild.
The A's players, the teams had that Oakland swagger, but it was like us versus everybody.
Let's go Oakland! Let's go Oakland!
This ball club has been the only team I've ever rooted for. That green and gold is what I bleed.
For me, everything about being an A's fan is the fandom, is the crowd, is the fans, is the people I meet and the family I make.
It's a game that's passed down through family, right? It's something that I passed on to my son.
It's a large part of my identity of being an A's fan, and it's just crushing to have that come to an end.
The last game was really painful, really painful. I'm sorry.
All right, and here now live with us is Matt Dooley, director of The Last Game. Boy, you can't help but get a little emotional when you watch that trailer, Matt, because you really do capture the highs and the lows of really loyal A's fans here in Oakland and the Bay Area.
Yeah, our story really encapsulates the journey that A's fans have taken from, 57 years ago when the A's first moved here to Oakland until the last game in 2024. It's been 57 years of tragedy and triumph and heartbreak and connection, and that's really what we wanted to highlight in our documentary that we just finished.
All right, so how did this project come to be? What was the inspiration to do something like this, to create a film like this? And also, how did you go about finding all of the A's fans that you were going to profile?
Well, as we know in the Bay Area, A's fans are very loyal, very passionate, very outspoken. So there was a lot of easy to find. Yeah, so there's a lot of definitely passionate A's fans that reach out to us when we started this project all the way back in December of 2023. There was rumors and talk about the A's movie. Nothing was official at that time, but we thought, you know what, if this does actually turn around and they stay in Oakland, it's a great story. If they do ahead and they move, it's a great story. So we just wanted to capture the memories of people had with their families, with their loved ones in the stadium, surrounding the team for those last 57 years. So folks came out of the woodwork. People had been fans since '68, since they first moved here, and we got a whole range of ages and opinions and really put it together in something that we think is really special for the Bay Area community.
Yeah. As I mentioned, though, this is really a story told through the eyes of fans. You didn't interview any players nor anyone in management. Why?
I think, when this team moved, it was an emotional, gut-wrenching sort of thing. You had the Oakland Raiders, who, of course, moved them Coliseum, and there was a hope that the A's could stay and be the one remaining team in Oakland. So there's a lot of documentaries that talk to the managers, talk to star players, and particularly in the sports world, but at least we don't think there's been documentaries that talk to the fans of the teams. These are the people that really support the teams, that make that fandom go, that make communities go, particularly in Oakland. This part of the identity of Oakland is this team. And we think that's best represented through the voices of the average everyday fan, and I think that's what we've sought to capture in our documentary.
All right. Well, now that the team has left Oakland, I mean, obviously, A's fans, as we see from your film, still really struggling to kind of come to terms with what this all means. What is your hope about what A's fans, broadly speaking, will take away from your film?
I think the thing that's most important, the message that we received having done our premiere and talked to all the A's fans that have seen the film, is there's a sense of catharsis when you watch this. You remember all those good times you had with your families. You remember friends who have long gone. You remember that game, the earthquake game that you were at in Candlestick Park against the Giants. And so there's a sense of, even though that person or that organization is gone from Oakland, you still have those memories in your heart that can live on, and you have a sense of closure when I think that there was a wound that kind of was left in the Bay Area, not from just the A's leaving, but the Raiders and the Warriors. players to some extent. And so we hope that this documentary provides some sense of that closure for A's fans to move forward.
Yeah, and so far, what are you hearing from people who have had a chance to see it?
They love it. You know, I always get people texting me or emailing me after they've seen the documentary and saying, "Why'd you make me cry like that?" So I'm apologizing if that was the case, but you know, we really do think that our stories carry a lot of emotional weight, because this isn't necessarily a story about the team or their wins or their victories. It's about the connections that people made with each other, and that's why I think is really an important thing.
Clearly, it's hitting home for a lot of fans. So let's talk about what's next for the film. You're going to take this film now out onto the film festival circuit here. Where do you go from here with this?
That's a great question. Yeah, we're hoping in the next 6 months to 12 months that we're going to be submitting to different film festivals around, particularly San Francisco, documentary film festivals, and taking it on the road for different theater showings in the United States. The hope with that is that you get picked up by a distributor, and you know, if someone likes your documentary film, it can be seen by a broader audience after that gets
Why do you think the film will resonate beyond just A's fans?
Right.
You know, I think this is not necessarily a story about baseball, but it's a story about people. It's a story about connection, and no matter what type of connection, whether it be in you know, a club or an activity or sports, I think that the emotional resonance of something leaving you or something being taken away hits home in a way that everyone can relate to. And I think in our story we tell that, and we show, you know, why that sense of community and bonding, particularly over the Oakland A's, is important.
Yeah, and a lot of people do feel, though, in the professional sports world, that an important component, the fans, gets sort of sidelined,
Pushed
right,
aside,
and missed, and this shows that without the fans, really, a team doesn't exist. Matt, it's really great. I was emotional after watching the trailer, so really can't wait to see the whole documentary.
And folks can see it this weekend in Oakland.
Yes, that's right. We have a showing where we are going to have a web page up, but you can find us on Instagram at The Last Game Doc. We have a showing this Saturday just locally in Oakland, intimate studio setting, and we'll have some tickets available on sale now if you want to come through.
Okay, we're wishing you a lot of success with this. It really is great.
Thank you so much.